Hi everyone, welcome to Brain Thinker Theory. Today I'll be running through HTML and beginning of HTML for absolute beginner. There are two things you need to know as the beginner. We have the Google Chrome, and then the additional things you'll be needing is your notepad, which is your editor. The two-factor notepad and then Google Chrome are the two things you'll be needing for your HTML. The first step we are going to take is we are going to open our notepad and we are going to be saving our notepad. You have to save your notepad with your HTML, but firstly we need to create a folder. On creating the folder, we are going to name the folder our HTML for beginners. This folder is what I will be running through for this course. Stay tuned with me. All right. Additional things you need to know is that your HTML is a very simple language. It's a markup language. So we are going to be creating it step by step. And before you do anything on that folder, your notepad is the most important thing. You can use your Sublime Text, you can use your Visual Studio, Visual Code, anyone. But I will advise you to use Notepad for absolute beginner because Visual Studio will be helping you to add additional auto close tag. There is differences between save as, there is differences between save, and there is differences between open under your file on your notepad. I'll be explaining it differently. When you're saving for the first time, you save as. Your subsequent saving is save, which means you are updating your work. I'm saving for the first time and I will name my program first. So I will use save as. My save as level 1. So there is no space. It's going to be level underscore 1.ht. Once you save it, you go back to your folder and with immediate level 1. So it is possible to see without echo. Addition is to note in your folder. Beginner will see .ht notepad format. You are going Google Chrome format, or you can use any of your browser. It can be Google Chrome, it can be Opera Mini, it can be Firefox, it can be Microsoft Edge, depending on what browser is your default. The next thing we need to do right now is to open our Google Chrome, which is our front end beside it. Let me quickly tell you there is differences between front end and back end. Your home page front end is the web browser displayed, is the displayed page, and your back end is where you are going to be editing, which is using Notepad or any of the editor. As simple as it is, that is your URL. Your URL is the combination of your page. So that is what you are going to be looking through. So the first thing you will need to do is to note your URL and know where you are saving your files to. So from there, we will proceed. So stay tuned. Thank you. So if we are starting our HTML, the first tag we are going to use is less than HTML, less than exclamation mark DOCTYPE. The DOCTYPE is one fantastic thing you have to write as an HTML programmer. Several ways of writing DOCTYPE is that you write it in capital letter or you write it in small letter. So this is the best advisable way, although I choose small letter although. So let's move on. Note, when you open a HTML tag, you must close it. As a good programmer, you don't open your window down and you now go to sleep, or you cannot just open your door and you go to bed, because there might be sort of insecurity and you might be attacked. So from here, you have to close anything you open except those tags that it is only open tag. For example, break tag. So the next thing is to declare your head. Your header is the most second important, and you really have to declare it open. The next thing is to declare your title. Don't worry, all these things will not show on your browser, but your title is the only one that will display on your tab. That's when you are opening it through your front end, which is your Google Chrome. Alright, so your doc type, like I said earlier on, declare your HTML tag to be HTML5. Your HTML declares the root element of an HTML, and your head element contains information about the document. Your title element specify a title for the document. Your body element contains the visible page content, and your H1 element defines a large heading, followed by your P tag, which defines a paragraph tag. All right. The first thing we need to do is we need to take a tag name. Content goes here, and we have the tag goes here. Don't worry. You don't need to cram anything. You will know everything as soon as possible. So this is just hello to test run our page. So the next thing I would like to show you is subsequently, if you wish to open your notepad, how are you going to be opening it? How are you going to be getting your front end and back end if you close your tag? Let's say if you close your home page. It is very simple. You can hold and drag. If you drag it there and drop it there, you are going to, if you drag it from your HTML for beginner and you drop it down to your notepad, automatically you will see your back end. Thank you. Additional, the second option is to click on open. When you click on open, open will look out for any files that you have opened before, whether you've created it. So you can now select all text, all files. There you will locate your document, which is HTML for beginner, and you locate your level 1.html, and it will run successfully. Don't forget to close your tag anytime you open it, and it is very, very simple. All right. The next thing we would like to treat right now is for you to note that your hello word that I just put there without the body tag serves that, yes, that is the beginner, my first page here and there. The next thing you need to know is P tag is my first paragraph, like P means paragraph, H1 means your heading one, like I explained earlier on if you have been following. The next thing you will notice is that there was no body, but I want you to know that the HTML recognizes that yes, you don't have body tag, but you have declared your heading. Your header tag is there and your title document is there. So the HTML tag will recognize it if you launch that like that. But it's not always advisable as a good programmer to start your program without the proper file. You can see my first page on heading 1. There is heading 1, there is heading 2, there is heading 3, it is up to heading 6. So I'll pause this video. You quickly go through and change that H1 to H2 and make sure you close the tag for the H2. The differences between the open tag and the close tag is the slash sign that is there. You can see my paragraph, my first paragraph, and I am closing the paragraph right away with the slash and the last P. So please don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like, comment if you don't like the video, or if you like it, please let me share your view and let me see how we can improve you more. All right, I will be introducing you to little of CSS. We'll call it Cascading Style Sheets. So I would like to add additional things to my H1. Probably I would like to add color, and let's see how we are going to add a color. is very simple. Using CSS, we'll call it style. Since you know how to dance, so you can choose any style you want. So on HTML, colors coding is based on CSS, and it deals with using of style. All right, so how can you add a style? It is very simple. You are going to give a space under your HTML open tag, and you add an attribute called style. For any attribute you are going to be adding must be style equals to, you are going to open the double quote, not single quote, please, double quote, because for every attribute begins with equals to, and you are going to add the double quote. You can see background minus color. I want to set my background minus color to be equals to yellow or green or purple, any color of your choice. Note, when you put background minus color, the next thing you put is colon. Once you put your column means your background color is set to green, it's set to yellow, it's set to blue, and you will save your work and you will see it authenticated. You can change your yellow, you can change your blue, you can change to any color. Don't worry, as we keep on moving, I'll teach you how you can color code your content using hexadecimal color and some other colors. All right, the next thing I would like to do is I would like to change my H2, my H3 to test run, all those things to see if you get it or not. Don't run away. Stay with me. Thank you. All right, so I copied my style sheet and I pasted it under my P tag and I refresh, but you will notice it's not working because P and style was joined together and there was no space there, and HTML is not a case sensitive of which it will not correct you automatically, so you will have to correct yourself. All right, so the space there was stopping my page from taking effect, which is my first paragraph. So right now you will notice that after the paragraph has taken effect, then you can now test for your H2. H2, H3, H4, and H5 are very simple to do. The same way you did your H1, you can do the same thing for H2. All right, so hello for the H1, and from there I will have another one which is H2 close tag. Then from there H3. After the H3, I can have H4. It is up to H6. So regarding the font style, I will run everything and you will see the differences between H1. H1 has the highest font size ever, followed by H2. So the higher it goes, the lower the font size. So don't forget, there is H3. I will do the H3 and then there will be another H4 respectively. You have to know that the beginning of the content is the tag, and the space in between them is the content goes there, because that is where you are going to put your content. Anything you want to display, that is where you put it and you close it. So in between your H3 open tag and your close tag, that is where your content will be. So that is the full command with space. So in between that, less than H3, greater than, space, less than, slash H3, then greater than, that is where your content will be. You will notice I am writing H4 and then I am closing the H4 tag, that is the open tag, that's close tag, H5 close tag, H5 open tag respectively. The next thing you need to do is there is H6, which is the last one. Now where I am pointing down to right now, at the central point where I just inserted one, that is where your content will be. Anything you want to put there, you can put a story, you can put heading, anything you just wish to do, and you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 respectively with different fonts size. So that is about heading. I believe I have made justice to heading. If you wish to comment on headings, you can easily make your comment. Okay, all right. The next thing I'm going to deal with is I will add a link, which is the A tag for a link. But note, I have not included my body since many. I have not included the body tag, which is supposed to be beneath the header, the head, the close tag of head. But don't worry, the Microsoft, Google Chrome, and then the HTML will know that yes, I am teaching a novice and I am still a novice and I'm still learning. So the A tag is the full tag there, followed by the attribute. Like I said earlier on, your attribute has to be an equal to, then with your double quotes. So don't forget for href. Href simply means you are referencing to something. What are you referencing to? I am referencing to cantinghill.com. Or alternatively, I will clean the Canting Hill. I'll change it to google.com, www.google.com. Then in between the close tag and the open tag, where my mouse is pointing to right now, that is where your content goes. Anything you want to display aside the link, because the www.google.com will not display when you run your code until you press the link. So what will display will go in between them, and you are free to go. All right. The next thing you need to know is that for every code you input on your back end, when I mean back end, you should be able to know right now that yes, back end simply means your code editor, your HTML code editor, whether you are using a Notepad or Sublime Text or Visual Code, anyone. All right, the next thing I am going through is this comment. Comment is non-executable command. What did I mean by non-executable command? For example, you wish to write a story and you don't want it to appear on your page. You just wish to have it at the back end. That is how you can declare your comment. And it is very simple. It will not execute. It will save there, and then you will not see it on your front end. Most programmers usually use comments to indicate their level of programming, how their programming is being taking place, and how the syntax are being written. For example, now I just wrote, this is how to make comments in HTML. I don't want it to display on my website, so nobody will see it on my website. But if you are reading my code, you will notice that yes, to make a comment is very simple. Just put less than, exclamation mark, dash dash, then you are going to end it with dash dash, and you have a greater than sign to close the command. So very simple. That is the command, less than, exclamation mark, dash dash. After this dash dash, then you close the command there. So there, that is where you start writing your comment. So anything you write there will not display, as you all know. All right, I believe I'm not bothering you all. I believe my video is still ongoing very well. So that section, the last thing for this section is how to add an image to the URL link. How you can add image to your HTML markup language. It's very simple, and you need to follow my instruction. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing by adding image is by using the img tag. Img tag is a natural keyword that your HTML will recognize while adding a tag, an image tag specifically. So here right now, I want to include my body because I have been doing so. Save, refresh before you can be able to see what you are about to treat. So I need to add my body tag because enough of all this. I am no more a beginner, so I am now moving gradually to a pro. So everybody now that has followed me to this extent is now becoming a pro with one step ahead. So I'll add my body tag to end it, and then we are moving into image I want to insert an image using an img tag. An img tag has an attribute. Like I said, attribute must begins with equal. After declaring your attribute, the next thing that must follow is equal to, followed by the double quote. Okay, let's see and let's explore how this image will be. Is less than img followed by src to show that the source of the image equals to, followed by double quote. Close the double quote, because when you have your first double quote, you have to close it. Now, alt simply means alternative to image. This simply means that whenever your image is lagging, let's say the network does not quickly load your image, this thing that you are putting on your attributes under your double quote, my picture, would display instead of it to just be idle or to be an empty space. So we are going to add a width. Width simply means the breadth of your picture. We are going to add a width of 200 pixels, or alternatively, we'll just remove the pixel, we'll put it as 200. The HTML document, the HTML notepad, the HTML command will notice and recognize that yes, we are using pixel by default. We are going to add a height. So here we have src attribute, we have alt attribute, we have width attribute, and we have height attribute respectively. So image is an open tag, of which there is nothing like image close tag where you have your image again, you now close it. No, it is just only open tag, and the close tag is just there because image contains several attributes, so it's an one-way open tag. So, and the close tag is just that. All right, so don't forget, every open tag must end with a close tag in order to be a professional. Okay, so now the src simply means the source of the picture. Which picture are we going to use? Which picture are we going to use? You need the name of the picture. Right now we don't have any picture, but I will go down to my picture. I will get a picture. Here I have a student. My student got a picture there. So I'll pick any of the picture, but make sure you note the name. The name with 888 will be the best for me to pick. So on copying it, the first thing I will do is I'll open it to see the picture since it's displaying. And after that, I will copy the picture respectively. It is very simple. I'm waiting. As soon as this image got displayed, accepted. These are my students using tie and dye moment. So I'll copy this picture. I will go back to my HTML for beginners that I created on my desktop earlier on. But before then, I need to copy it. Is that I use Ctrl+C or I right click and go to copy. All right, so the next thing, I will move down to my folder. The folder I created earlier on my desktop, I will open the folder. On opening that same folder, I will paste the image inside my folder. When I paste it, is that I use my Ctrl+V or I right click and go to normal paste respectively. So the next thing I need to do is to note the properties. Properties is very, very essential. Property simply means the content of this picture. Picture is either JPG, GIF, PNG, and so on and so forth, together with the name. And I wish to rename it from 888 to Hello, HELLO. That is what I wish to rename it. So I will rename it. I'll click on OK. You will see the name has been effected. All right, the next thing is to know the type, which is either JPG or PNG or any type. And if you wish to know it, just right click on it. You will see it there as the JPG like I showed you earlier on. Additional thing is now you're going to add a hello.jpg inside your image src, because we need to reference the name of the picture. We use the reference name of the picture. If it is link, we are going to use the URL link. And if it is picture, we'll use the name of the picture. If you reload, you're going to see the picture. The picture is an inline tag, is an inline element. Don't worry, next section I'll be teaching you about inline element and block element. You will notice, go to google.com and picture are joined together. That is inline, meaning for any picture you add together, they will be joining together respectively. So let me quickly change the size. And now I want to show you the name of this attribute. This attribute alternate. Let's assume I add another L to this hello. You know, there will be nothing like HE.LLO.jpg on our folder that is that image. But instead of the computer system to remain idle, the alternative name will show, which is my picture, and you can see it there. So I will add a break to actually bring down the picture from go to Google. I want to add break to it. So look at where I go to. I'll go to where the image link is at the back. I'll add a BR before the comment section. All right. So I will rename it back to hello, and you will see the name has changed, and then everything is excellent. Okay. Lastly, before we go, I will be playing around with the width. You can equally play around with your width and height the way you want it to be. And make sure you save, because if you save your back end, it will reflect on your front end. And there is nothing you can do on your front end that will reflect on your back end for now. So just take it with me as I have explained earlier on. Thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Contact your friends, tell them your teacher is teaching you as I'm teaching. I'm equally learning equally. So ask them to join Brain Thinker TV, and let's make hay while the sun shine. Instead of paying several amounts to get all this, I am giving you guys free of charge and with a free level of excellent level of assimilation. Thank you.